Have you ever witnessed a situation where someone is treated terribly, and you wonder how the person who was humiliated will react? What if this humiliation happens in a high-end, luxury store, and the person being mistreated is not someone you would expect to be treated poorly? How would you react if the person being humiliated had a surprising response? This is exactly what happens when Eun-Woo, the popular K-drama actor, visits a luxury store with his driver. On the surface, everything seems typical for a star like him. He's surrounded by the glamorous atmosphere of a high-end boutique, filled with designer items and the finest customers. But what happens next will leave you shocked. As Eun-Woo strolls through the boutique, admiring the displays, his driver, a man in his early 40s, waits patiently by the door, respecting the boundaries that come with his role. The store is filled with high-profile clients, some of them staring at the star with admiration, while others gossip quietly among themselves, not fully aware of who the man by the door is. He is not just Eun-Woo's driver, but someone who works tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the actor's schedule runs smoothly. As the day goes on, things start to shift when a customer, a well-dressed woman in her 50s, walks into the store with an air of arrogance. She immediately notices the man standing by the door and gives him a judgmental look. She walks up to him, her high heels clicking sharply on the marble floor. "You can't just stand there," she says with an edge in her voice. "You're in the way. Are you even supposed to be here?" The driver, a humble man who's used to being unnoticed, does his best to remain composed. He lowers his gaze slightly, respecting the woman's presence, even though her words sting. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just waiting for my boss," he replies softly, trying to defuse the situation. But the woman's frustration grows. She eyes him with disdain, her voice growing sharper. "Your boss? Do you really think someone like you belongs here, in a place like this?" she scoffs. "You're just a servant, aren't you?" The driver feels the weight of her words, but he says nothing, taking the humiliation quietly, as he's done countless times before. He doesn't want to make a scene, but it's clear that the woman's judgment has crossed a line. Just as the woman is about to say something else, Eun-Woo, who has been quietly observing the exchange from across the room, stands up and walks over to the woman. His presence alone makes everyone in the store pause. The star, known for his kindness and humility, steps in with an unexpected response. "Excuse me," he says, his voice calm but firm. "This man is not just my driver, he is a person, just like you, and he deserves respect." The room falls silent as everyone turns to look at Eun-Woo, stunned by his sudden intervention. The woman, now realizing that she's been publicly reprimanded by the actor, stands frozen for a moment, her face reddening with embarrassment. Eun-Woo looks at the woman directly. "You may not know who he is or what he does, but you don't get to treat him like that. We are all human, and we all deserve to be treated with dignity, no matter our role in society." The woman stammers, clearly caught off guard, but Eun-Woo doesn't give her a chance to respond. He turns to the driver, offering a reassuring smile. "Let's go," he says, his tone softer now. "I'm sorry you had to go through that." As they walk out of the store, the crowd watches them leave in stunned silence. Eun-Woo's reaction has not only surprised the woman, but it has left an indelible mark on everyone who witnessed the moment. The actor's kindness and willingness to stand up for his driver, a person who is often invisible to others, have shocked everyone in the store and perhaps even changed the way some of them view the world. As they step outside into the cool air, the driver looks at Eun-Woo, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, sir," the driver says quietly, his voice full of respect. "You didn't have to do that." Eun-Woo looks at him with a gentle smile. "Everyone deserves respect," he replies. "No matter who they are, no matter where they work." The driver nods, his heart swelling with appreciation. He's used to being treated as invisible, but in that moment, he feels seen. For the first time in a long time, he realizes that he's not just a servant or an invisible figure, he's a person, worthy of respect, just like anyone else. The moment is simple, but powerful. It's a reminder that no matter how high someone may rise, they should never forget the value of every individual, no matter their role. As Eun-Woo and his driver leave the luxury store, the air between them is charged with an unspoken understanding. The driver, though grateful, can't help but feel a sense of disbelief. It's not just that the actor stood up for him, it's the way Eun-Woo used his influence to shed light on something that most people would have ignored or simply accepted as part of life. The truth is, most people wouldn't have even noticed the disrespect. But Eun-Woo did. And he chose to do something about it. Later that evening, as they drive back to the hotel, the driver tries to make light of the situation. "You know, sir, I wasn't expecting that kind of attention today," he says, his voice a mix of amusement and humility. Eun-Woo chuckles softly. "Neither was I," he admits. "But you've worked hard for me for so long. It's the least I could do. People like you are the ones who help make my work possible. I don't take that for granted." The driver smiles, feeling a warmth inside that has nothing to do with the car's heating. It's rare to find someone in the public eye who treats others with such dignity, especially when no one is watching. Most people in Eun-Woo's position might have brushed off the situation or even ignored it entirely, but the actor's decision to speak out is a rare and courageous move. As they pull up to the hotel, the driver steps out and opens the door for Eun-Woo, as usual. But this time, as the actor exits, he turns to the driver with a thoughtful expression. "Why don't you take the rest of the night off?" Eun-Woo suggests, surprising the driver once again. "You've earned it. Go enjoy yourself. I'll be fine for tonight." The driver is taken aback by this rare show of kindness, his heart swelling with appreciation. "Thank you, sir. I'll make sure to be back early tomorrow morning." Eun-Woo nods and watches him leave before heading into the hotel. For the actor, this small gesture of kindness, offering his driver a night to himself, was a way of honoring the person who always works quietly in the background, ensuring that everything goes smoothly. It's a small act of recognition that most people never see, but one that makes all the difference. The following morning, Eun-Woo is scheduled for a photo shoot, and the day's events unfold as expected: interviews, fittings, and the usual whirlwind of activities that come with being a top celebrity. But as he makes his way through the hotel lobby, he notices a few people who are talking in hushed voices, clearly aware of what happened the previous day at the luxury store. One of the hotel staff members, a young woman who's worked there for some time, approaches Eun-Woo with a shy smile. "Excuse me, sir," she says hesitantly. "I just wanted to thank you for what you did yesterday. I heard about how you stood up for your driver. It really made me think about how we treat others, people who are often overlooked. I hope you know that your actions didn't just change the way people saw you. They changed the way we see each other." Eun-Woo is caught off guard by her words. He smiles warmly at her, his eyes sincere. "Thank you," he replies. "It's not about me. It's about making sure that everyone feels valued, no matter who they are or what they do. We all deserve respect." The young woman nods, visibly moved by his words. "You're right," she says. "And I hope we can all remember that, every day. Thank you for being an example of that." As the day progresses, Eun-Woo can't help but feel a deep sense of pride in his decision to stand up for his driver. What started as a simple act of kindness has blossomed into something much larger, a reminder that respect isn't just a matter of status or profession, but a fundamental right that everyone deserves. Later that evening, when Eun-Woo finally meets up with his driver, he notices that the man seems a bit lighter, his shoulders no longer carrying the weight of yesterday's humiliation. They sit together in the hotel restaurant, enjoying a quiet meal, and the conversation naturally turns back to the events at the luxury store. "You know, sir," the driver begins, looking at Eun-Woo with a grateful smile, "what you did for me yesterday, standing up for me in front of all those people, it means more than you'll ever know. I've been a driver for many years, and I've never had anyone do something like that for me. It's a gesture I'll never forget." Eun-Woo looks at him, his expression soft. "It wasn't just for you," he replies. "It was for everyone who works hard behind the scenes and gets overlooked. We all have a role to play, and everyone deserves to be treated with respect." The driver nods, his eyes reflecting a mixture of admiration and gratitude. "Thank you, sir," he says. "You've shown me what true leadership is. It's not just about fame or status. It's about how we treat others." Eun-Woo smiles and raises his glass. "To respect, kindness, and seeing each other for who we truly are." The driver lifts his glass, a sense of deep appreciation filling his heart. To respect, kindness, and to you, sir. As the two of them share a quiet moment, Eun-Woo realizes that this simple act of kindness has made a lasting impact not just on his driver, but on everyone who witnessed it. He hopes that this small act will inspire others to treat those around them with the same dignity and respect that everyone deserves, no matter their job, status, or position in life. The next few days pass in a blur of media appearances, photoshoots, and meetings, but Eun-Woo's mind keeps drifting back to the moment in the luxury store. He's used to being in the spotlight, admired by fans for his looks and charm, but the incident with his driver has given him a deeper understanding of what it means to lead with empathy. The respect and kindness he showed were not for attention or recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. Word of the event at the store spreads, not only among his fans but also within the media, with many outlets praising Eun-Woo's humility and integrity. In interviews, he's asked about the incident, and each time, he responds with the same message. "I didn't do anything extraordinary," he tells a reporter. The true value of leadership lies in how you treat others, whether they are famous or not. Everyone deserves respect, no matter their role in society. The more Eun-Woo speaks about it, the more he realizes how much the small, seemingly insignificant moments have the potential to create lasting change. It's not about grand gestures or lavish acts of charity, it's about the simple act of showing kindness and respect in everyday situations. As the days go on, the impact of Eun-Woo's actions continues to be felt in surprising ways. His driver, who had been quietly humbled by the experience, begins to see changes in the way others treat him as well. People in the hotel and restaurant where he works begin to greet him with more warmth and recognition. It's not that they didn't respect him before, but the shift in the dynamic, sparked by Eun-Woo's public defense of him, seems to have given people a new perspective. One morning, when Eun-Woo and his driver meet for their usual car ride to a filming location, the driver speaks up. "Sir," he begins cautiously, "I've noticed something different lately. People, they've started to treat me differently. They're more polite, more respectful. I don't know if it's because of what happened in the store, but it feels like people see me now. It's like I'm not invisible anymore." Eun-Woo smiles, proud that his small gesture has had such a ripple effect. "It's funny how simple acts can change everything," he says thoughtfully. "It's not always about what we do for others, it's about showing them that they matter. You matter, just like anyone else." The driver nods, his heart full. "Thank you, sir. You've changed the way I see things." The two of them share a quiet moment, both reflecting on the profound impact of something as simple as treating each other with dignity. As they pull into the filming location, the driver feels a renewed sense of pride in his work. He is no longer just a shadow, standing in the background. He is seen, he is valued, and he is respected. The power of that recognition is not lost on Eun-Woo either. He understands that being a role model comes with responsibility not just to his fans, but to everyone around him. He sees now that his influence, as small as it may seem at times, has the power to bring about change. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving to make the world a better place through the way you treat others. As he continues with his busy schedule, Eun-Woo makes a conscious effort to carry this message with him wherever he goes. Whether he's interacting with his team, fans, or even strangers, he's committed to leading by example, showing kindness, respect, and understanding in every interaction. His fans, inspired by his actions, start to speak out more about the importance of respecting others in their daily lives. Social media posts flood in, with fans praising Eun-Woo not just for his acting, but for the way he's changed their perspective on treating people with dignity. It's clear that his actions have sparked something much bigger than a simple moment in a store. It's a movement of respect, kindness, and empathy that is beginning to spread. One fan tweet reads, "I used to think kindness was small, but Eun-Woo showed me that every act of kindness counts. We don't just respect people because of who they are, but because every person is worthy of respect." As Eun-Woo reads these messages, he feels a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond anything he has ever achieved through his career. This isn't about fame, it's about creating a world where respect is the norm, not the exception. It's about lifting others up and showing them that they matter. One evening, after finishing a shoot, Eun-Woo takes a moment to reflect on everything that has happened in the past week. The luxury store incident, the conversations it sparked, and the way his actions have ripple effects on those around him, he realizes that these small moments of respect are the things that truly make a difference. As he reflects on his journey, he knows that this is only the beginning. The work to create a world where kindness and respect are standard, not rare, will take time. But with every act of kindness, every conversation about respect, and every person who stands up for the dignity of others, the world becomes a little bit brighter. As Eun-Woo's influence grows, the conversation surrounding respect, dignity, and humility continues to spread, far beyond just his fans or those in his inner circle. His message of kindness and understanding has permeated into the wider public, causing more people to reflect on how they treat others, not just the famous or influential, but those who work tirelessly behind the scenes. One afternoon, Eun-Woo attends a public charity event where he is invited as a guest speaker. The event's theme is focused on social responsibility and how the public can contribute to creating a kinder, more empathetic world. As he stands before the audience, he realizes that the responsibility he carries now extends beyond the entertainment industry. It's about contributing to society in a way that can change lives. He starts his speech by addressing the importance of recognizing the value of every individual, no matter their role in society. "I'm often asked about what it's like to be in the public eye," Eun-Woo begins. "But the truth is, the most significant work is done quietly, behind the scenes. It's the people who serve us, who make things happen without recognition, who deserve our respect and gratitude. They are the backbone of our society." The crowd listens attentively, and his words resonate with those in the audience who work in various sectors, from hospitality to healthcare to retail. Eun-Woo's words strike a chord because they remind people that their contributions matter, no matter their job title. Everyone deserves respect, regardless of their job, their income, or their status, Eun-Woo continues. "I've learned that true leadership is about acknowledging the efforts of others. It's about showing kindness and recognizing the value of each person, not just when it's convenient but every day." The applause that follows is not just for Eun-Woo's acting or his fame, but for the powerful message he's spreading. As he looks around at the audience, he sees that his words have sparked a shift in how people are thinking. They are starting to realize that respect goes beyond simple pleasantries. It's about making others feel valued, especially those who are often overlooked. After the speech, Eun-Woo was approached by several individuals who thank him for his words. One of them, a woman in her late 20s who works as a manager in a local restaurant, shares her experience. "Your message really hit home for me," she says. "I've been managing the restaurant for a while, and sometimes, I feel like the work we do is just expected. Customers don't see the effort that goes into making their experience special. And we're constantly under pressure to deliver without acknowledgement. Hearing you speak today, it reminded me that the work we do matters. Thank you for that." Eun-Woo nods, appreciating her words. "Thank you for everything you do," he says. "Your work matters more than you know. It's people like you who help create positive experiences for others, and that's something worth acknowledging." Later that evening, as Eun-Woo returns to his hotel room, he feels a sense of fulfillment that is different from the usual satisfaction of completing a successful project or finishing a photoshoot. Today, his impact was not just felt in the entertainment industry, it was felt in the hearts of everyday people who work tirelessly and often go unnoticed. He knows that this is the kind of impact he wants to continue making, not just through his work as an actor, but through his words, actions, and the way he chooses to lead. The next few weeks are filled with more public appearances, but Eun-Woo makes it a point to continue promoting the message of respect. He visits local schools, speaks at charity galas, and even starts collaborating with organizations that focus on workers' rights and mental health awareness. His campaign for kindness and empathy grows, and it becomes clear that his efforts are not just a passing trend, they are part of a larger cultural shift that is slowly but surely changing how people interact with one another. But even as he continues to speak out, Eun-Woo remains grounded. He takes time to reflect on his journey, on the events that led to his realization about the importance of respect and kindness. He knows that this fight will take time. It's not about changing a few minds, but about creating lasting, systemic change in how people perceive each other's worth. As he walks through the streets of Seoul one evening, deep in thought, he sees a street vendor selling flowers at a busy intersection. The vendor, a man in his 60s, looks up and gives Eun-Woo a warm smile. "You're Eun-Woo, right?" the man asks, his voice kind but weathered from years of working on the streets. I've seen you on TV. You've done a lot for people. Thank you for what you do. Eun-Woo is touched by the simple gesture. He smiles back, bowing slightly in appreciation. No, thank you, he replies, his voice sincere. You're the one doing important work. The vendor laughs softly. We all do, in our own way. But it's nice to know that someone sees it. I've been doing this for years, but it's nice to know that people like you appreciate it. Eun-Woo feels a deep sense of gratitude in this moment. It's a reminder that respect and kindness are not about grand gestures or media recognition. Sometimes, it's just about seeing the value in others, no matter their station in life. And that, he realizes, is the true meaning of leadership. As he walks away, Eun-Woo knows that this journey, this movement he's part of, will continue to grow. Every person he meets, every conversation he has, is another step toward a world where respect is not just a word, but a way of life. Days turn into weeks, and Eun-Woo's message of respect and kindness continues to inspire people around him. His actions have sparked conversations not only in South Korea but across the globe. People are beginning to challenge the status quo, reflecting on how they treat others, especially those in service roles. His campaign is no longer just a few speeches here and there, it has become a movement, with social media platforms buzzing with hashtags and posts dedicated to spreading the message of respect. Eun-Woo's efforts don't go unnoticed. During one of his interviews, a well-known philanthropist and business mogul reaches out to him, expressing admiration for his work. She invites him to collaborate on a charity initiative aimed at providing resources and opportunities for people in low-income jobs, those who are often forgotten and undervalued in society. I've seen the way you speak about respect, how you make sure to lift others up, the philanthropist says during their meeting. I believe we could partner to create a foundation that helps those in need, not just financially but emotionally, by providing support and a platform for their voices to be heard. Eun-Woo is deeply moved by the offer and agrees to collaborate. Together, they work on launching a campaign that will support those who are often invisible in society. It focuses on providing education, healthcare, and mental health resources to those in the service industry, as well as raising awareness about the importance of fair treatment and appreciation for their hard work. The campaign is a resounding success. Thousands of people sign up to contribute, and donations pour in from all over the world. What started as a personal mission for Eun-Woo to stand up for his driver has transformed into a global initiative that touches the lives of thousands of workers. As he continues to support the initiative, Eun-Woo receives a message from his driver. It's short and simple but holds a lot of weight. Sir, the message reads, I wanted to thank you once again. I never imagined that something so small could lead to something so big. Your kindness has helped me find my voice. I now know that I'm not invisible. Eun-Woo smiles as he reads the message. It's the perfect reminder of why he started this journey in the first place. His driver's life, and the lives of so many others, are being transformed because of a small moment of kindness and a decision to stand up for what's right. One day, while out in public, Eun-Woo runs into an old friend from his early days in the entertainment industry. The friend, a popular television personality, greets him with a warm hug. Eun-Woo. I've been seeing everything you've been doing lately. The way you've been speaking out about respect for others, it's amazing. Eun-Woo chuckles modestly. It's just a small thing, really. It's about how we treat each other, right? His friend nods. Exactly. I've seen it, and it's inspiring. You've made a huge impact. I've even started thinking about how I treat the people around me differently now. We all should be doing more to show respect to those who don't get enough of it. Eun-Woo is taken aback. You've thought about it too? Definitely, his friend says with a smile. You've started a ripple effect. It's amazing to see how one person's actions can make a difference. That conversation stays with Eun-Woo throughout the day. He knows that the journey he's started has the power to make a lasting change, and he's grateful for the opportunity to be part of something so much bigger than himself. As the months go by, the movement continues to grow, touching people from all walks of life. Eun-Woo's voice, once heard only by his fans, now reaches millions of people who are waking up to the power of respect and kindness. His message of treating everyone with dignity, regardless of their job or status, has begun to shift the way people view each other. At the charity event he helped organize, Eun-Woo watches as people from all over the world come together to share their stories. Many of them are workers in the service industry, waiters, cleaners, delivery drivers, who have spent their lives in the background, never expecting recognition or respect. But now, they stand proudly in front of the crowd, knowing that their voices are being heard, their work is being recognized, and their lives have meaning. Eun-Woo stands at the front of the event, looking out over the crowd with a sense of gratitude. He thinks back to the incident at the luxury store, the moment that sparked everything. What seemed like a small act of standing up for his driver had set in motion a chain of events that was changing lives and hearts all over the world. He smiles to himself, realizing that true leadership isn't about fame or recognition, it's about using your voice to lift others up, to make the world a little more compassionate, and to ensure that everyone, no matter their role, is treated with the respect they deserve. As the event wraps up, Eun-Woo takes a moment to reflect on everything he's experienced. The journey has been difficult at times, but it has also been incredibly rewarding. He's seen firsthand how kindness and respect can create real change, how one person can make a difference, and how the world can be a better place when we all stand together. And so, he continues his work, always striving to be the change he wants to see in the world, always reminding others that no matter who they are or what they do, they matter. As Eun-Woo's message continues to spread, the impact of his campaign deepens. What started as a singular act of standing up for his driver in a luxury store has evolved into a powerful movement for respect, empathy, and social change. It's clear that this isn't just a fleeting moment, it's a shift in culture, one that Eun-Woo is committed to continuing, no matter the challenges ahead. Months pass, and the conversation about respect for workers, especially those in service roles, becomes more common. Social media campaigns, workplace initiatives, and public events all begin to highlight the importance of treating others with dignity, no matter their role in society. It's a movement that gains traction worldwide, and Eun-Woo finds himself invited to speak at international conferences, where his voice is heard by policymakers, business leaders, and individuals eager to make a difference. One day, he receives an invitation to a global forum on human rights and social justice, where he is asked to be the keynote speaker. The event is attended by some of the world's most influential leaders and activists. Eun-Woo knows that this is his chance to take his message to an even broader audience, to reinforce the idea that no matter your job, no matter your background, everyone deserves to be treated with respect. The day of the forum arrives, and Eun-Woo stands in front of the audience, ready to deliver a message that has been on his heart since that day in the luxury store. He starts by recounting the moment he chose to stand up for his driver, a simple act that had profound consequences, not only for his own life but for the lives of so many others. We often overlook the people who make our lives easier, Eun-Woo begins. We don't see the tireless efforts of the workers behind the scenes, the drivers, the janitors, the waiters, the delivery people. We assume that they are just there to serve us, but we forget that they are human, just like the rest of us. They have hopes, dreams, struggles, and worth. And they deserve to be treated with the same respect and dignity that we expect for ourselves. He pauses for a moment, letting his words sink in. When I stood up for my driver, I wasn't doing it for attention. I was doing it because I realized that if we don't speak up for others, then who will? It's easy to forget the people around us when we are caught up in our own lives, but we can't afford to let others feel invisible. Respect isn't something that's earned by status or wealth. It's something that every single person deserves. The audience listens intently, many of them visibly moved by his words. Eun-Woo's message is clear: it's not about fame, money, or position in society. It's about treating others as equals, no matter their circumstances. This is the foundation of his campaign, the heartbeat of the movement that he's worked so hard to amplify. As Eun-Woo finishes his speech, the applause that follows is loud and long. The room erupts in admiration, but for him, the applause is not what matters most. What matters is that his message is reaching the hearts of those who can make a difference in their own communities. The conversation is being ignited on a global scale, and he knows that this is just the beginning of a long journey. Over the following months, Eun-Woo continues to advocate for workers' rights and social justice. He collaborates with various international organizations to create programs that support workers in vulnerable positions, ensuring that they receive fair wages, healthcare, and emotional support. His actions inspire others, celebrities, leaders, and everyday people alike, to stand up and make a difference in their own communities. But as his fame grows, so does the attention he receives from the media. He becomes the face of a new wave of social activism, known for his unwavering commitment to respect and kindness. Yet, despite all the praise and accolades, Eun-Woo remains grounded. He doesn't do this for recognition. He does it because he believes in the power of respect and empathy to change the world. One evening, after a long day of meetings and events, Eun-Woo takes a moment to himself. He sits on the balcony of his apartment, gazing at the city below. The lights of Seoul twinkle in the distance, but his thoughts are far away. He reflects on everything he's learned, the importance of kindness, the power of empathy, and the impact of standing up for others. As he looks out at the horizon, he feels a sense of peace. He knows that his work is far from finished, but he's confident that the movement he's started will continue to grow, changing the way people treat one another, one small act of respect at a time. And in that moment, he realizes that the true power of leadership lies not in the spotlight, but in how you lift others up, how you help them feel seen, heard, and valued. As long as he has a platform, he will continue to use it for good, to spread the message that everyone, regardless of their job or their status, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. So, if you've made it this far, type dignity in the comments. Let's keep spreading the word that respect for others is the foundation of a better world, one where everyone has a voice and is treated with kindness.